Government is encouraged by the favorable numbers regarding the economy that have been recorded of late. The Marcos administration, particularly the Department of Finance, is confident the country will continue to build on such momentum to provide the best possible future for Filipinos. Kenneth Paciente has the full report.
The country's economy continues to grow, as emphasized by the Department of Finance. During the sectoral briefing at the Palace earlier, economic managers presented to President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. the situation of the country's economy. According to Finance Secretary Benjamin Diokno, economic growth was recorded at 5.9% in the first quarter of the year, also due to the acceleration of domestic demands.
We're the fastest growing economies in Asia. 5.9, that's the third quarter growth. And then compared to Vietnam's 5.3, Indonesia's 4.9, 4.9 for China, Malaysia 3.3, and Singapore 0.7. Now, if you take the first, please back. If you take the first three quarters, Q1 to Q3, the Philippines is still the fastest growing. So the average growth rate from the first to second to the third quarter is 5.5.
The government is confident the GDP will increase further next year to 6.5% to 8% until the term of President Marcos Jr. ends.
We should continue our anti-inflation drive. Kasi lower inflation means more purchasing power for consumers. And then yung efficient budget execution, na siguro natatandaan ninyo ng second quarter, talagang nag-slow down ang budget implementation. But we were able to recover in the third quarter, and we expect to continue the recovery in the fourth quarter. Navigate external headwinds. So we monitor what's happening in the world, and there's an interagency committee na monitor yung what's happening in the world. And then we have to implement structural reforms.
The Interagency Committee on Inflation and Market Outlook was created with the aim of curbing inflation. This includes strengthening production, filling the domestic supply gap, monitoring market developments, and protecting the agriculture and transport sectors.
We are applying science to anticipate the gap between magkano ba yung kailangan na ekonomiya at magkano kailangan nating angkatin. And so we have to do that in a timely manner so hindi na-apektuhan yung presyo masyado.
The DOF pointed out the employment situation of Filipinos at least helped in taming inflation.
The quality of employment has improved. Yung dati na tinatawag na underemployment rate, ano bang ibig sabihin ng underemployment rate? Ang underemployment, ang ibig sabihin nun, may trabaho ka na, pag pero tatanungin ka, are you looking for a better job? Pag sinabi mong yes, underemployed ka. That used to be 26%. Ngayon, lowest ever, 10.4%. So gumanda na yung employment situation. Diyan ang makakatulong sa mga kababayan natin.
According to the Secretary, the country's debt-to-GDP ratio is manageable at 60.2% and insisted that borrowing is not bad as long as it is placed in the right investment. That's why he underscored the importance of private sector, especially in the infrastructure flagship projects.
This time, we will use public-private partnership. We will involve the private sector. And so, next slide. Makita mo yun sa next slide. Makita mo yan, out of 197 projects worth 8.7 trillion pesos, yung public-private partnership, there are some 41 projects which are called public-private partnership. So kasi alam naman namin hindi naman kaya ng gobyerno lahat yung 8.7 trillion within that. So we are involving the private sector.
Regarding the national budget for next year, Diokno said the president might sign this before his trip to Japan in mid-December.
Malamang. Kasi I was talking to the liaison officer to na-approve na kasi yung budget. So they will go into conference committee by December 1st. And so there's enough time bago umalis si Presidente.
Kenneth Paciente for The Nation.